On live now? Oh, hey guys, Masati here. Welcome to Masati on Sunday. It's really fantastic to be back. Isn't the weather fantastic, by the way, guys? And if you've seen the clouds and everything just looks so brand new. Everything looks so fresh, doesn't it? Kind of crazy, right? I think nature is really taking on or taking back its original say intent outside of what humanity has done to it. This is a great opportunity, by the way, for us to take back what our original intent to be here in physical form is about as well. And that's what we're going to be talking about. Burning Man insights. What amazing insights that I had on the playa and off the playa too, because right after I went from desert onto sea, where I went to an Alaskan cruise and did an amazing event on ancient technologies, future technologies, and then also aliens and so on. It was quite amazing. Met some cool, interesting people like Jimmy Church. I don't know if you guys know who Jimmy Church is. Amazing, amazing being. Will be on his podcast as well. So, uh, yeah, so many changes. Did you all comment in? Did you all feel, say, the transformations as I was transforming as well, and then as the universe transforms? So it's a whole party right here, guys. Right? The universe transforms. I pick it up. We transform. You guys transform together. We transform, and then we go to higher and higher levels. Right? It doesn't matter what the government does. It doesn't matter what your neighbors do. It doesn't fucking matter about anything else but the higher connections you have to the original source. Right? I don't care what you want to call it. It doesn't matter what you call it. It doesn't matter what you label it. It works with or without you. Right? It doesn't care about your definitions, by the way, your religions, your spiritual movements, all that stuff. It doesn't care because at the end, it does what it does. It's been here. What this intelligence has been here, gosh, I don't know, trillions of years. It's timeless. It's been, who knows? It's way beyond time. So that's the distinction, or that's the physics, that's the science that you want to approach, right? To me, that would be my God. That would be my definition of God, the intelligence of the universe. Simple as that. It keeps it very simple. There's no nomenclature or anything else. And we're going to be talking about that, what it means to be in human form, according to, in this case, Burning Man concept. Which is quite interesting. Demi, do you want to roll that Burning Man? Some of you have seen this before. It's about a 2-minute clip. We're going to go through it. Quite an amazing. Those who want to go, I've had a lot of people, go, God, you did it. You went through it. It's like, yeah, it was fantastic. The weather was perfect. We always make the weather perfect for us. It is really quite. So hopefully, maybe next year, if we go, some of you will join us. Yeah, go ahead, roll that clip, Demi. Or okay. Oh, okay, awesome. So let's get into the 10 principles, because as I was going through the Burning Man process, right, I was looking at the principles, and it sounds really cool. And let me read the 10 principles of Burning Man, and then right after, guys, according to the principles of Burning Man, I'll read you, and I'll scan you all, okay, if you want to be scanned, and I'll tell you how close you are to that Burning Man principle and what you need to improve yourself. And not just tell you, but then help you with your frequencies. Okay. All right. So we'll get into the 10 principles of Burning Man. Burning Man, I'll read this. Burning Man co-founder Larry Harvey, the 10 principles in 2004 as guidelines for the newly formed regional network. They were crafted as a not as a dictate of how of how people should be and act, but as a reflection of the community ethos and culture as it had organically developed since the event's inception. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through what Burning Man, radical inclusion, the way Larry Harvey described it, and then what I described were an XI version. Because the thing with Burning Man, it sounds great. It sounds really great, but it's not sustainable. That's a problem with the ethos of Burning Man and the logistics of Burning Man. There's a lot of things that just wouldn't be sustainable, at longer term, longer levels. Right? Maybe 10 days. People started to break down after like the 10 days. By the way, it wasn't 7 days. I was there a lot longer because we were pre-build, but again, people started to break down. You just can't. You just can't stay at that level. Right? The logistics, the community, the socioeconomics just cannot sustain that. So what I did is like, well, how can we sustain it? How can we bring it? How can we bring the ethos into Burning Man? Make it better, make it good enough so we can sustain it in, say, society, in human society, normal or standard human society, day-to-day living, and that's what this is all about. All right, so we'll jump in. And I love all these people from everywhere. By the way, guys, please subscribe to this channel, like the channel, tell your friends about it, that there's this crazy guy that really wants to change the world. Right? And he's got some crazy ideas. Well, we need crazy ideas to change the world because logical ideas haven't changed, right? We need to step out of that scope, as Einstein said, step out of this reality. And that's why my ideas might sound crazy, but it works. A lot of you, although it sounds crazy, a lot of you have seen the changes, the transformations in your life, right? And what I was talking about earlier was as I changed, as the universe changed, as you changed, I change, the universe changes, and so on, right? It's a beautiful play. It's a beautiful medley. And did you notice that we all pick up on each other? We always pick up on the highest frequency that's around us, right? So did you notice that as you changed, your loved ones changed around you without them doing anything? Because we're naturally programmed to elevate ourselves into higher consciousness if we can find a path, if we can find a route. But again, our leaders, your societies, religions, anything else out there, they haven't found the path. So we just go in circles. We're trapped in this maze. We're trapped in this prison. Again, it's the prison that we've created within ourselves. All right. Hey, Mustafa, how are you? Again, people from everywhere. Truly, it does work from GK. Yes, so true. I am. Yes, absolutely. How long is the waiting time to have a private session? Allison, not exactly sure, but just put your name in there and we'll get you in. All right. I'm putting out more hours, dedicating more hours to you guys because by November, a lot of things will happen, and a lot of you again want to reclaim. That's why there's this rush for you. It's not about me. It literally is. The universe is basically telling you that, hey, you want to be at your optimal self by about November-ish, early part of November, because that's where a lot of changes will transform. It usually happens around early-ish November, by the way. Okay, the cycles of the universe. All right, so let's see, Demi, we've got Burning Man up, right? And it is beautiful, guys. The artwork there is beautiful. The ply is beautiful. It's crazy how beautiful it is. It is a little rough, but not too rough. By the way, you got air conditioning, you got electricity, you got bathrooms, you got showers, you got water, all that stuff. It's not like being in the Amazon where you have nothing and you're on your own. That's a real Burning Man for me, and I've been there. So, okay, here we go. One is radical inclusion. So anyone may be part of Burning Man. We welcome and respect the stranger. No prerequisites exist for participation in our community. Okay. All right. So let's talk about that on the XI way. And by the way, not anyone can go there in Burning Man, because you have to have, some sort of money to get in there. It's quite expensive, actually. Right. So that's pretty close, but again, radical inclusion. So in the XI radical inclusion, this is what it really entails. Okay, in the realm of XI, radical inclusion goes well beyond just mere acceptance. It is the recognition and reverence for the distinct frequency that each soul contributes to the grand tapestry of existence. So we embrace all, knowing that each individual regardless of their origins or beliefs, is a vital thread in the fabric of humanity's evolution. Inclusion is not just simply an open door, it's an invitation to harmonize with the eternal frequencies of the universe, where every voice resonates with purpose. So that's what radical inclusion means to me, or XI. I love examples like this because it gives XI science, more stability or more concreteness for you all, because that's what we need. When I was creating XI, again, I didn't create it, I just discovered it. Okay. And packaged it nicely, but this goes beyond and gives you like solid ideas. And what we'll do is I wrote this down. I wrote these down on what it means to me, the difference, and we'll put it on our newsletter. So sign up for the newsletter, okay, at the XI code, and we'll give you that list for you, so you can operate from these, say, 10 principles for you. Okay, so radical inclusion. Do you see the difference? Every frequency is accepted, and if you start to understand that we're just frequencies, you start to observe, because it's all about referencing. You really start to observe how other people resonate compared to where you are, and you go, oh, and you actually accept them because they are helping you become a better version of you. It's like, oh, they're resonating over there. They're resonating in this frequency. That means I'm resonating this way. And you start to say intermingle and go, I like the way they resonate that way. How can I create this? And then we create more of a oneness for ourselves. Right? That's how it should be. But in today's in today's world, okay, outside, and it is a beautiful community, by the way. Everybody's accepted. In today's world, though, it's like they're that. I have to be this, and you push against. So you're defining yourself, you're referencing yourself, right? You're referencing yourself against them instead of with them. You're not accepting them. And this is kind of a MOS rant, but those individuals who are like, they're against gay, they're against, LGBTs, they're against that. Because you know why? Just got to be honest, might as well be out there. It's because they're too afraid. Because if they recognize those individuals, okay, and I'm not for them, I'm not against them, they're just there, right? Just like heterosexuals and everybody else, okay? Might as well get political, right? So what people do is like, well, they're like that, and that scares the shit out of me because I don't understand them. I have to push against them to force me to be me. Okay? That's why they're against them. If you start to notice really extreme anti-gay or anti-lesbian or anti-Semitic or anti-religion or anti-whatever, they're so extreme because they're very afraid, very, very afraid that if they accepted, say, being gay, there's a gay gene, there's a gay thing inside them, and they might be gay as well. So they go, no, I don't want to go there. So that's why, again, we push away. We move away from things that we aren't familiar with. Right? Another thing I want to bring up is, when I started doing things for psychedelics, some people fell off. It's like, well, MOS is doing psychedelics and I don't believe in that. It's like, what the fuck, right? So psychedelics are here. Psychedelics have been around for centuries. Psychedelics, gosh, since the dawn of mankind, since some idea or some concept came to nurture man, going, hey, you know what? You can accelerate your evolution by doing certain psychedelics. That's where the Egyptians did it. That's where a lot of tribes did it. And nowadays, like, psychedelics is bad because the government tells you. The government told you psychedelics were good. You'd go, oh, fuck. You'd have no problem. If the religions didn't say that psychedelics or anything like that, mind altering, was bad for you, you'd accept it. Okay? So what's the truth? The truth is that psychedelics are really fantastic. It does a lot better than a lot of pharmaceuticals, especially non-GMO psychedelics. And that's the problem. That's why I got into the psychedelic nature, because now it's going to become mainstream. It's going to become mainstream. Pharmaceuticals, and RFK, by the way, was talking about this. Wonderful post. I love the guy. RFK was talking about this, where he was talking about, he doesn't want the big pharma to get into psychedelics. because once they do, they'll fuck it up. They'll just fuck it up, and it's not going to be the same. It's going to be a mind-altering psychedelics, right? In a negative way. So again, you want to do it the natural way, and psychedelics are fantastic. I myself, very sporadically do it. I'm not really into it. I don't need to do it. I can just, like, literally at Burning Man, I just held on to whatever it was, and I got the frequencies. That's how I do psychedelics, by the way. There are people who do psychedelics and it massively transforms them from ADD, ADHD. There's so much research on that. So why not accept it rather than going, well, my belief is I don't like psychedelics. Well, you're not exponentially intelligent. If you do believe that, then, because then you turn into another religion. That's what XI isn't. It's not another religion. It's as close as you can get to the science of nature. Simple as that, right? And nature created psychedelics, so might as well look into it and figure this shit out, right? So it benefits you rather than go, I don't want that. All right, so let's go to gifting. So what Larry Harvey says on gifting is Burning Man is devoted to acts of gift giving. The value of a gift is unconditional. Gifting does not contemplate a return or an exchange for something of equal value. Okay? Very beautifully said, but again, not sustainable. So in a sustainable world, how would that happen? How would that work? So I wrote my thoughts down. Gifting. So gifting within the XI domain is the art of transmitting pure energy without the shackles of expectations. Every act of giving is a testament to our boundless inner wealth, a deliberate channeling of universal consciousness into the tangible world. True gifting is not measured by material exchange, but by the echo it leaves within the receiver's soul, drawing them near to their true essence, their highest potential. Okay? So what that means simply is that you shine your light as best as you can. Okay? You get rid of all your bullshit. You get rid of all your genetic patterns that don't deserve you, just like nature does, just like the animal kingdom does, and you become your best possible light. Okay? And your light is the gift that you give to them. How beautiful is that? And if people don't want to stand by your light or near your light, that's totally cool. It's just like the artwork that was there out in the playa, right? If you didn't like this artwork, that's cool. You don't have to trash it. There's another piece that you might like. Go over there. Simple as that, right? And then you start to understand, again, reference points on, wow, that's really cool. And you start to see the beauty of what gifting is. And then what you're doing is since you're gifting your light, not the power that it takes for your light, but you're gifting your light. Right? It doesn't matter if there's 100 people standing there or one person or 1,000,000 people. It doesn't matter, because your light just burns the way it does. The cool thing about that is that as more and more people stand under your light, you go, shit, they must like my light. It accelerates you to go, shit, I need to clean more stuff out. Your light becomes stronger, becomes more beautiful, right? Comes closer to who you should be. So it perpetuates, that gifting perpetuates you to become even more brighter or more enlightened. And as it does, your light shines even more, and then more people gather, right? And then what they do is, like, their lights, get brighter, and then your lights get brighter, and then their lights get brighter, and it's just this crazy thing called evolution. I just explained evolution for you, by the way. That's all it is. Your light getting brighter and brighter, more conscious. That's what evolution is about. Nature does it beautifully. We, because of free will, we don't. And there's a reason for that I won't talk about here. On today's society, gifting is like, well, I did something wrong. I need to gift them to make things right, to amend things, right, to pay something back. It's kind of like a tax. It's kind of like a service charge for you. A lot of times gifting is based on sacrifice. So it's like, shit, if I sacrifice this for that person, then I expect that person to do something for me. All right. And that's why I hate the word gratitude. again, in its original definition, I don't hate anything. In its original definition, I love gratitude because it forces you to become your best self. But in today's society, the definition of gratitude basically is like, you know what? I sacrificed my life for you. I sacrificed this. I loved you. And now you do this to me. You owe me. So whenever you have gratitude for something or for someone, notice that every time you say, I have gratitude for that X, just imagine you putting on a chain around your neck, right? Another chain, another chain, another chain. It doesn't matter. So again, until the word redefines itself, I would use thankfulness because it hasn't been fucked up as much, right? All right. So we'll move on. Let's see any comment. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I got couple windows, too many windows open. I should actually have another screen. Demi, remind me to maybe get another screen on here. Here, this is a hard one. Decommodification. Okay. In order to preserve the spirit of gifting, our community seeks to create social environments that are mediated by commercial sponsorships, transactions, or advertising. We stand ready to protect our culture from such exploitation. We resist the substitution of consumption for participatory experience. Okay? Absolutely. But again, even in the Burning Man experience, there's people, they'd give you free stuff, sure, but where does it come from? Our company provided that. The money that I made from my company provided that. So again, at a deeper level, they're pushing. But again, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience for you. So let's make it go deeper. Right? How can we do it in a real world scenario? All right. So in a real world scenario, number 3, decommodification, XI teaches us. XI teaches that the essence of life defies commodification. The true treasures of existence lie not in what we possess, but in the frequencies we emit and we absorb. So by rising above the materialistic paradigm, we connect with the higher dimensions where value is found, not in possessions, but in the boundless expansion of consciousness, like what I was talking about for number 2. Decommodification is the casting aside of the illusion that external goods define us. So redirecting our focus inward to the internal journey of our self-realization. Does that make sense? So what this means in this reality, outside of Burning Man and from XI, that this reality is basically like, if I make X amount of money, therefore I am this. Okay? It's a facade. You are still hurt. You're still fucked up. You're still, aging the same way. You're still having the same diseases as your parents. But if I make a lot of money, then therefore it proves to me and hopefully society that, well, I am something. I am worthy of something because I did that. Okay? I did a great play. I'm a great actor. Great music, great architect, great husband, great wife, great whatever. It doesn't really matter, right? I did that, therefore I am this. So when that pattern kind of happens, one, you start to lose yourself of the world that is not real, the physical world. Okay? This physical world is real, but it is not of worth. Okay. So have you ever had anybody that die in front of you or close to death? What do they talk about? They start to see real value, right? They start to see what's really, really important. They start to see that, shit, you know what, another, 100 or 10,000 hours at work, another whatever building to erect, another music, song that I should have wrote. None of that is of value, right? The real value is how close did you understand the purpose of why you were created? How close was that purpose of you creating yourself for what, trillions of years, I would say, right? Okay, billions of years if you don't like trillions, timeless to bring you into this say, perfection to create what you'd create, you forgot all that for something that's just, frivolous. And when you're dying, like I've died a few times, you start to see shit, real value. And that's where, God, it's just amazing. And then when you operate from that, and that was number 3, decommodification. That's what this is about. You start to define who you are internally. You start to remove away from what you're not, all the shortcomings that you're not, and you naturally are blessed with the physicalness of this reality. Right? So it's not like you do without this reality. A lot of people get that confused. Right? Not like you do without money. It's pretty cool. Right? You can do a lot of exchanges. Hence, that's where money came from. But when people start to define themselves by what they can accomplish in this physical world, by what they can accumulate, right? Whether it's women, whether it's men, whether it's animals or whatever, I'm just telling you the history, right? Whether it's land, whether it's knowledge, whether it's people, whether it's control, whether it's countries. Again, they're fiat currency. You're losing who you are, and that's what's happening in today's world. So again, when we decommodify, it's really important that we take back who we really are. We connect, and then the wealth, the resources, the abilities, and all those things that you sacrificed yourself for is just a reflection of who you are. Again, it becomes a reflection. Does not mean that you do without, right? Against, in religion and spirituality, you do without, which is the same as doing with. Okay, both teach you, by the way, religion, spirituality, and then the idea of wealth. They all three teach you, right? They all three teach you that you are not worthy. You need spiritual or religious practices, or you need the value of money to define who you are. Okay? It's all the same, just different sides of the scenario. Okay, so kind of huge, right? And again, if I'm knocking your space down and you go, well, I don't like that. Well, think about your religions and your societies and what money has done to this reality. Right? There's a better way out there. And that's what number 3 is about. All right, we'll go to number 4. Yeah. Well, we'll go to number 4, radical self-reliance. Burning Man encourages the individual to discover, exercise, and rely on their inner source, on their inner resources. So you go there with what you have, and again, although there's help, there's people that will help you, but you have to rely on yourself. So on the XI world, radical self-reliance, in the wisdom of XI, radical self-reliance is the understanding that within you lies the most potent force of all. Your connection to the infinite by attuning to your inception frequencies, again, your core level frequencies, you awaken dormant potential and access the profound intelligence of higher realms. Self-reliance is the mastery of your innate abilities and knowing that true empowerment stems from within, and no external force can rival the power of your inner light. Again, it all goes back to who you really are. So radical self-reliance allows you to, again, shed away those tools that you don't need. It allows you to bring back who you are. It allows you to understand the concept of you reconnecting yourself to a higher level of who you are. Okay? If you can understand that, your physical world is beautiful, and you really don't need other people to support you. You need other people to accommodate and have fun with as you expand even more. That's what radical, say, self-reliance is about. Okay. All right, we'll go to radical self-expression. Radical self-expression arises from the unique gifts of the individual. No one other than the individual or a collaborating group can determine its content. It is offered as a gift to others in the spirit of the giver. It should respect the rights and the liberties of the recipient. Okay. All right. So radical self-expression, in this case, in the XI case is about XI self radical expression, is the resonance of your soul manifested in the physical world. It is the unapologetic embodiment of your highest truth, expressed in every thought, every word, every action. Through XI, self-expression is more than just creativity. It is the conscious alignment with your divine nature, where every expression becomes a reflection of higher intelligence, a testament to your infinite within you. So you know what that means, basically. If you've ever seen people who've been in the zone, whether they're athletes, whether they're great talent, whether they're your child doing something, whether they're you're in that zone, right? What that is that there's a deeper, stronger connection between your timeless self and your physical self. And your higher self literally you're allowing your higher self to play into this into this physical world. And it expresses itself so beautifully. If you've seen people who can do things perfectly, but it's just kind of flat, they have rehearsed so well that they just go through the motions. They've done it 100 times. They just go through the motions, and it's just like, wow, that was really fantastic. It was brilliant. It was precise, but it's like there was nothing there. Okay. So in this case, self-expression is about, you allowing, again, self-expression, you allowing your higher self, your original form, without any filters, as I call it, without any regards to how society sees you, in the proper way. They see you in the proper way, not even how you see yourself, because that's an improper way. Your higher version of who you are comes through and animates you. And then you see the light, literally the light of God per se, within you. And that's what you're going, oh, wow, that's just beautiful. That's what you see in your child, by the way. Your kid's just hanging out, playing Legos, playing Legos or whatever. And it's like, whoa, that's so beautiful. Because the spirit is coming in through, and you're actually experiencing the presence. That's what self-expression is about. Now imagine if the world ran that way. We wouldn't have a lot of problems that we do, and we'd come up with fantastic technology that doesn't destroy us. All right, communal effort. Our community values creative cooperation and collaboration. We strive to produce, promote, and protect social networks, public spaces, works of art, and methods of communication that support such interaction. All right, communal effort in the XI community. In the science of XI, communal effort is the amplification of collective frequencies, a powerful synergy that transcends the limits of the individual. When we align our personal frequencies with a shared purpose, we create a resonance that elevates us all beyond what any of us could achieve alone. This principle reflects the XI truth that true progress is forged through conscious collaboration, where each soul's contribution enriches the collective consciousness, raising us all towards the divine. Again, what this means is, have you noticed, again, as you change, your loved ones change, right? You naturally go towards that person that is of higher order. That's how it all works. Communal effort. It's quite amazing. Right? And imagine if everybody did that. We wouldn't have a lot of problems that we do, because in this world, what we do is literally about solving problems. And this is where we cycle. We solve problems that by the end of the day, or by the end of our lifetime, we haven't figured out who we are. We didn't take the time to figure out who we are. Simple. People go, they're 65, 70 now, maybe 75. They're still working to pay the rent, do whatever. It shouldn't be that way. You should discover who you are by the age of 7, and then expand upon it. But now we're discovering who we are. We're not even discovering who we are by the time we hit 70, because all this bullshit programming, and then we try to find out who we are. It's a little too fucking late for that, right? That should happen literally before you hit 7. You have a strong idea, concrete concept of who you are as a being, and what your purpose is by 7. That's why if you have young people around you, your parents of young people, they go, why are you doing that? Why is this? Why is that? Because it's like, hey, my handbook says I got to do this by the age 7, and you're telling me that's taking me off my path. What the hell's going on? But most parents don't think of it. Most society doesn't think of it. Most schools don't think of it, and then we fuck them up, and then we go, what the hell happened to society? What the hell happened to our younger generation? Right? Crazy shit. All right. Civic responsibility. We value civil society. Community members who organize events should assume responsibility for public welfare and endeavor to communicate civic responsibilities to participants. They must also assume responsibility for conduct events in accordance with local, state, and federal laws. So again, local, state, federal laws, all those things should abide by what's actually good for the individual. And what's good for one individual is actually good for all individuals at a higher level. Okay? But most people, again, they don't work here at the base level, so they make laws according to the effects, and that destroys people. In today's society, it destroys the strong and then fosters the weak, unfortunately. Okay, so civic responsibility in the XI framework is civic responsibility. Again, an XI is a recognition of our profound interconnectedness, the understanding that our actions ripple through the fabric of reality, shaping the world we inhabit. It is the duty to live in harmony with the higher laws of consciousness. Again, the higher laws of consciousness, not this law, ensuring that our influence serves to elevate society, to foster well-being, and to guide humanity towards its higher destiny. Again, the key is the higher laws of consciousness. The laws, according to this, it should have a ripple effect to create the laws in the physical form. But we don't do that. In today's society, we look at the effect, we look at the cause, we look at the effect here, right here, the outward, the surface level stuff, and we create laws according to this, and then we think it'll ripple back to that. It doesn't work. Science doesn't work that way either. We should follow the science from the beginning and then continue on. But again, we do it in the ass backwards, basically. All right, let's take a deep breath in. By the way, as I've been giving you these concepts, also giving you the frequencies underneath it. Right. So you might want to listen to this, and you can just put it in the background actually for your family. They don't have to listen to it consciously unless they want to. But it'll be really beneficial to transform. You could put it in your office, by the way. Right? Put it in very quietly. This Masati on Sunday. Just put it in your office, really, really quiet, and just let it play. Put it on repeat. Just let it play, and you'll start to see people interacting more the Burning Man way. Right? Loving each other, hating less. All that political bullshit. Office politics and all that stuff start to fade away. Give it a try. Give it a try for a couple of weeks. See what happens. Right? Again, all you have to do is play it very, very light, so you can't even hear it in your cubicle or in your office, and see what happens. If you have an office, it's really cool. By the way, it'll set the environment. It'll set the atmosphere. People who aren't supposed to be around you, they will not. In a very short time, they will feel uncomfortable sitting in your office. Seriously, it's happened so many times. People who want to learn, people who want to ascend to a higher level, they'll naturally gravitate towards you. And they might just hang around. So that might be a problem. It's like, shit, why are you hanging around my office? It's like, because it feels really nice in here. Not even about you. Although you are part of that piece. All right, so leaving no trace. Leaving no trace, our community respects the environment. We're committed to leaving no physical trace of our activities. Whether we gather, we clean up after ourselves and endeavor, wherever possible, to leave such places in a better state than we found them. Okay, it's really beautiful. So when you go to the playa, you can't leave even like a piece of tinsel or glitter or whatever. They really check that. So the way you left it, the way you came in is the way you leave it, and that should be beautiful. But leaving no trace, XI teaches that every action we take imprints a frequency upon the environment. a mark that endures beyond the physical. Leaving no trace is the sacred practice. It's a sacred practice, by the way, again, a sacred practice of ensuring that our presence enhances rather than diminishes. So the energetic field of our surroundings, it is the consciousness, it is a conscious effort to elevate the space we inhabit, leaving behind only the residue of higher consciousness of positive, transformative energy. Right? So what that means is, like, when people go into the forest or into raw nature, what do? They leave all their shit behind. They might clean up after themselves, but they leave their dirty frequencies behind. Right? Use nature, use other people, use society, use whatever that's out there to benefit you, to let go of things properly, not dump on things. You dump on your kids, you dump on whatever don't want to go too deep, but everybody just dumps their garbage, and then they put this facade. It's like, I'm a good person, right? Because I got, but you're just hiding your garbage. You're not getting rid of it. This is transmuting your garbage, where when you walk into nature, when you walk into a room full of people, you are, say, so clean that everybody else around you goes, damn, that person's clean. Person's of a higher order. I need to clean my shit up. And then you start to clean yourself up at a frequency level, not at a facade level. Really, really important. So what you leave behind is even a better energy than what before. Even if you walk into nature, you're leaving nature's going, oh, a high level being, because that's what nature sees. By the way, nature sees, or animals see, it's like, shit, high level being. Wow, I should learn from them. And then they get closer to you, right? And they go, fuck, they're a high level being, but they're fucked up. They don't know who they are. You see it all the time in animals, right? They look at you and like, it's like, why aren't they where they should be? This is why. So you leave. So when you again, you go to nature, you interact with wild animals, and you go, damn, okay? And it'll help them as well, because we're guardians of this galaxy. That's what we should be doing, but we fuck it up. We trash this galaxy instead of become guardians. Leaving no trace. 9, participation. Our community is committed to radically participatory ethics. We believe that transformative change, whether in the individual or in society, can occur only through the medium of deeply personal participation. We achieve being through doing. Everyone is invited to work. Everyone is invited to play. We make the world real through actions that open the heart. All right. So in the XI world, participation in the XI vision is the active engagement with the flow of universal consciousness. It is the realization that by contributing our unique frequencies, we do not merely exist, we co-create reality. Right? It's really a powerful statement. So what that means is that you're always co-creating. No matter what you're doing physically here, you're always enlightening yourself. If you're not enlightening yourself, then you shouldn't be doing it. If you're brushing your teeth and you're not getting enlightened, you shouldn't be doing it. If you're helping people, you're not getting enlightened, don't do it, because it's destroying the world. The world doesn't need more love, by the way. It doesn't need more kindness, not in that form. It really doesn't. Right? And I know it's like, oh, MOS said that, it's like, what is he talking about? Well, in kindness, basically what most people do when they're kind to people, your life sucks. So basically what you're trying to do is what you're trying to do is, your life sucks. You're trying to help people to make you feel better. It's the same thing, but basically it's like, hey, you know what? My life sucks. I'm going to exchange my bullshit to help you so you feel better. But they feel better, but then it's just a vicious cycle downwards, right? That's why if you've ever helped anybody, it never old self. How do I get rid of my old self? So that's that purification process. Module 2, integration, understanding your new self. Right? It's a 3-part series. understanding who your new self is, understanding the new tools, the possibilities of who you are, letting go, uh, uh, understanding how to use your tools, new ideas, new concepts, new logic, new emotions, new self, new identity, without all the bullshit. And then module 3, expansion, which is October 8th, expanding into the possibilities. Okay? So quite powerful. This will also help you if you're planning on doing the human upgrade, I think, which is coming up next month, I believe. Human upgrade. So that's for you as well. Okay. All right. Let's move on to reading you all. And if you want, if you said read me, I'm not going to go through the chat. If you want, just read chat. Okay. If you want to be read. Are we frozen, Demi? We're good. Okay. Okay. So, Zarina. I think I read you earlier. We had a session. Hamas, please scan my parents. Your parents. Well, just think it. You and I think you guys were the twins, right? Yeah, you ladies were the twins. So, yes, yeah. So for you, please scan my parents. Well, like I said, Zarina. So as you break free away from your parents and your religion and family line and all that, your culture. So what'll happen for you is like you walk away, you step away, and this is take a breath in, guys. For you who run these patterns, if you don't know, just take a breath in. For you who run this pattern, so what'll happen is that you will start to say create the beautiful aspects of your culture, your family value structure, and so on. Family, nice family, you know, but obviously it could be better. So what you do, the way you're doing it is like as you've separated, especially after this private sessions we had a couple days ago, your parents will start to see it's like shit, they're doing a lot better. They look a lot better, they feel a lot better, and then your parents are open enough to go shit. You know what? Especially as they're aging, they go, yeah, we'll try that way. So they're not those parents that are like, nope, it's this religion, it's this, and you do it my way or out the door, and you're a sinner and all that stuff. They're actually starting to break down, probably from the work that's we've done. Okay, so nice job, Rob. Hey, Rob, scan, please. Yeah. So, Rob, you are accelerating. What are you accelerating at? So, in the past, uh, yeah. So, a lot of you that are kind of in Rob's position, take a breath in, Rob. What happens is like, say you're in a vortex, right? You're churning, right? And eventually, unfortunately, just like a vortex or a tornado, right? You cycle downward, right? So what you've done back in the day is all, no matter what your success is about, and that's your motivation, Rob. Back in the day, and I'm talking back in the day because we're separating you from back in the day and then your new self. So take a breath in again. Notice your solar plex. Again, notice this vortex. Okay. It's just cycling you downwards. That's all it does. It cycles you downwards. And then what you're doing or what you've done back in the day is like, shit, whatever I'm doing, I got to stay afloat because you don't want to cycle downwards, which is so all your efforts has basically been staying afloat. So now all you've done, which is really fantastic, is like, fuck, you know what? I'm getting you out of this vortex. I don't need to do this. So the energy that was consumed staying above or staying afloat, now you're using it to accelerate forward for you. So congratulations. But then since you've been in this cycle so long, it's kind of like your head spinning. It's like, shit, where do I go? What do I do? You have no direction right now. So if you just hold on to the solidness of the ground that you're on, rather than always a downward cycle, the new possibilities, you're a clean slate now, so new possibilities will show up. Don't You can keep running away from the vortex like you are, which is great, but in a very short time you'll say, oh, it's like I need to go here. So start to pay attention to, say, signs that will show up for you. All right. And I help create bigger signs for you. Literally, you go, Rob, go this way. So you'll start to feel a pull towards your right side. Whenever it's like somebody goes, hey, Rob, let's go do this, and you get pulled to your left. And I'll set that, if you want, whoever who wants this, take a breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So you get clear direction. Okay. Outside of intuition and all that stuff. This goes beyond intuition. Okay. So if you get pulled to the right, because that's a natural essence. If you get pulled to the right, Rob, it's like, hey, let's go do something. And you get pulled to the right. It's like, oh, let's go do it. If you get pulled to the left, basically it's your old pattern. It'll take you back to your old pattern. So it's your choice to make that choice. Okay. All right. Connie Flannery, read me, please. Sure. Connie, seems like you're always in your head. I don't know if somebody else, your mom or your dad, a female frequency. Your dad could have been feminine. So, Connie, for you, I don't know if you guys get headaches, but there's just tension in your head all the time. So you've literally forgotten, and it's so much work up here that you've forgotten who you are as a physical body. So you're just like a talking head, literally, unfortunately. Take a breath in. Or that might have been in your past. So what you're doing is like you're leaving that behind and you're starting to feel more. And it's kind of confusing you. It's like, shit, I have emotions, I have feelings, right? Because again, it's always been in your head. Or maybe, as a child, you had to close off your emotions, right? You had to close off your senses basically, and just be in your head, right? Kind of like this, I talked about being stoic, and being stoic is basically just sucking it up and taking the damage, like the Daily Stoic and all that stuff. I don't know. I think I'll do a better version of the Daily Stoic and basically that's what your father probably had taught you, Connie. But what you're doing now with XI is like, oh, actually, I'm human. I have emotions. Emotions might serve a purpose. So you're getting to understand what emotions are, what your possibilities, what being, say, a woman. I assume that you're a woman, Connie. Are, and coming back into, say, your body and really understanding it. By the way, if I read you, please comment in on the accuracy. I know I'm accurate. I've done this hundreds of thousands of times, but it's just when you go, yeah, Moss, that's right. It allows other people to go, how did Moss do that, and what knowledge did he tap into? Okay, so it's for your benefit, not mine. Space Monk, I like that name, Space Monk. Scan, please. Yes. So you are always, say, searching outside of yourself, by the way. Right? This society, this reality doesn't work out well for you. So you're kind of like over here, although your physical body is tethered over here. So let's do this, Space Monk. Take a breath in. Let's pull you into your body. Okay. It seems like I don't know if you're sick or something happened like around 4 or 5 years of age that literally disconnected you from your body. Okay. This is where, people might go ADD, ADHD, or shit, Space Monk is not paying attention to me, right? Because you're out, they look at you. It's like, gosh, he's here, but he's not really here. That kind of deal, because you prefer it over here rather than in physical form. So if I allow you or open up that possibility or access, again, I'll help you regain access to who you are. As you step into yourself, some of the memories that have to heal will come forth for you, but then you step into yourself, which is really cool. And then you can expand into this higher version of who you are. Okay? And then it becomes a beautiful space to be in, because you're expanding into those possibilities rather than trying to escape, the physical form. Because again, it took billions of years to create physical form, and now you're going, well, I'd rather be here. A lot of people do that, by the way. Okay. All right. One last, and we'll call it a day. Alexandra, is it Sadie? Saade? Hi, Masati. Can you please scan me? Sure. So for you, Alexandra, there's always a pain in your heart. Take a breath in, hon. There's always been a pain in your heart, and that pain and that pain might go, oh, I lost a love, and I lost this, and I, did that, but the deeper pain is like, you're here, your possibilities of who you could be and who want to be is just like out of reach. Okay? It's like, it's just like right there, and you see it so clearly, Alexander, but it's like, shit, you can't just reach it. And then over time, especially, I think this, like 13, 14, seems like you had a possibility to be something or do something or whatever that could have changed your life, but your parents or whatever happened said, nope. and then it just led you on this path, and it stunted you. So basically, you're always out of reach of being your best version. So no matter how much money you make, no matter what you do, Alexandra, basically it's like it's still there. It's like, yeah, I made $1 billion, but this piece of me is still in front of me. So can we do this? Take a breath in, Alexandra, and everybody else who feels like it's always out of reach. You know, your happiness, your completeness, whatever. You know, the next job, the next person I date, the next million I make, when I reach it. But then when you reach it, it's like, fuck, this isn't it. I need to make more. It's that kind of pattern. But for you, you've tried so many times, Alexandra, that it's like, shit, you know what? You're kind of like giving up. It's like, I know that next million or next whatever, not going to do it for me, right? Because you're very keen. The cool thing is that you're very keen. Breath in again. Right. So let's bring this version, the one that got basically died. You died at that moment. I would say 13 to 15. And Alexander, if you can comment in, it'll help a lot of people, by the way. Your life path kind of opened up here. Okay. And then your path went that way. So this path is still open for you. So let's just reconnect you. Take a breath in and just pull you back. There we go. And then what'll happen is that it'll start to reopen the path of finding who you are. Okay? And then you'll feel more complete. And as you feel more complete, your physical experience, money or whatever else that you need, will start to come forward for you. And it'll actually bless you rather than curse you. Okay. Breath in again, guys. All right. This is Groovy Butterfly. How do we, there we go. We'll take this one last. It's nice. How do we clean up the environment after being in it? Absolutely. So once you start to reflect on how pure nature is, okay, you start to compare where you are, and you start to ask yourself, okay, instead of dumping, because all you're doing is like you're letting go of your burdens and your bullshit, and you're putting it upon the environment, and the environment goes, I don't know what to do with this. Okay. So, and then you feel good, and then you go back and make some more. Okay. And then you come back to nature and you dump off. So nature becomes a dumping ground. Okay. So in this scenario, what you want to do is like, oh, nature is doing it this way. Okay. You just observe nature. You start to observe the beauty. Just observe nature. Just watch water flow by. Watch a leaf fall. Any details like that, right? You're hiking. Just understand. Just be observant of nature. Okay. And then reflect upon who you are. And then all the distortions will release, because it's a frequency. All those distortions will release for you as you elevate yourself to nature's frequencies. Okay, so nature's up here, you're down here, you're dumping all that stuff, and then what you do is like, oh, I want to be more like nature. So you can ask yourself, it's like, how can I resonate? What can I do? What frequencies can I delete? What frequencies can I activate so I can be more like nature in time? And then that way, as you say activate those frequencies, the stuff that you're dumping off releases the consciousness of it, and then it doesn't leave a trace. It creates fertile soil for you, right? In physical form, nature, again, like the fall is coming, the leaves are falling, it turns it into fertile soil for next year. Okay, what we do is like create a plastic type frequency, and then nature, and then the universe goes, I can't use that. And it'll sit there for millions of years. Literally, that's what happens. Frequency wise, again. But when you start to break down and you start to elevate yourself, okay, rather than just dump, when you start to elevate, your frequencies transmute. And then you start to say, biodegrade those frequencies, those human frequencies. It literally is like a plastic frequency, and it'll biodegrade on its own. And then nature goes, oh, they just elevated themselves, and that's where you help nature. Okay, really good. There's a uh, lot of science behind it, by the way. Space Monk, yeah, usually very up there. Have lots of communication trouble. Yep, exactly. So in this case, Space Monk, you're going to drop in and then you're going to expand into possibilities and then you integrate. All right. All right, guys. Great Moss on Sunday. Com- Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, guys. Let's see. Also, it's a free meditation. Let's see. Oh, wait. No. Oh, the spring equinox. The what equinox? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's today. Yeah, so universal power frequencies, guys, that's coming up tonight for you, okay? And then yeah, mindful mutiny, guys, it's he's a great guy, he's a great guy, so mindful mutiny, take a look at him, maybe we could post a link on the chat here, guys. Uh, it's quantum leaps into healing. So that's coming up October 1st. It's going to be a meditation, and then we'll do more scans. We'll talk. He's a great interviewer, guys. He gets to know more. He'll ask the deep, intriguing questions, so you get to know about what XI is really about. So take a look at that, guys. Mindful Mutiny coming up October 1st, I believe. Yeah, October 1st. I'll be in Ibiza. So if you're in the European areas, take a look at the website for that as well. If you want private sessions or whatever we're doing there, I know we're doing private sessions, but we're doing more than that. So take a look at the website for that. Again, it's a free online event, Mindful Mutiny. It's an interview. It's going to be really fantastic. It goes in depth on what XI is really about. All right, guys. That should be it. So as we end, again, notice what you notice the details of what you're noticing. All right, peace.